Hey there, Kyle Souza here. Got a lot of books to go through. Um, all of them from resale shops. Few from a specific used bookstore. Most of them from just a regular thrift stores. Actually, some from the dollar store also. This first one though is not from a resale shop. This is from a friend and coworker who came across this book at a yard sale and bought it and gave it to me. So thank you very much to Peggy. All right, I'm Kyle Souza. My blog is thetalkinggeek.com. I'm going to go through some books, just kind of an idea of really cool books that you can find at thrift stores. Like I said, some are from a specific used bookstore, and you can find great books at used bookstores. I'm a big fan of those. I also buy a lot of new books too. I like books. This video isn't going to be all theological, but there's going to be a lot of theological books. So there's that. Theology, my relationship with Christ, is a big part of my life, so I buy books about it. So these ones are the most expensive books I bought. These ones here, because these ones I got from a specific used bookstore. I generally spend about $1 a book. These ones are more. This one's a set of 3 books. The Bible Reference Library was $12. Fascinating Bible Facts, Who's Who in the Bible, and the Bible Almanac. Thought that was interesting. And then Lost Scriptures, books that did not make it into the New Testament for $7. So that becomes, or that is all that I got from not thrift stores. The rest are from thrift stores. Oh wait. I forgot the Dollar Tree one. So you can get a lot of cool books at Dollar Tree. Let me pull those out. Oh, see? We got those. Everything I need to know about love, I learned from Little Golden Books. Or from a Little Golden Book, I should say. So he's got that classic spine there. Little Golden Books, not what they used to be. Now they've got Star Wars ones and Disney ones, all sorts of stuff like that. I feel like I remember some of these though. And so some of the wisdom you get here is that don't get so carried away that you neglect your friends. Look at that. Of course, there are a lot of wolves out there. They do not have your best interests at heart. From Little Red Riding Hood, told and illustrated by Elizabeth Orton Jones in 1948. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought this was a good book for me to give to my kids. That'd be a fun one for them. All right. Mentats of Dune. All right. This is a sequel to Paul of Dune, by the way. If you're not familiar with Dune, then I'm not sure where you've been in the sci-fi world. This is by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. Mark Haddon's The Pier Falls and Other Stories. I like short stories, and so this is multiple stories. The Pier Falls, The Island, Bunny, Wadwo, The Gun, The Woodpecker and the Wolf, Breathe, The Boys Who Left Home to Learn Fear, The Weir. So it looked interesting to me. Worth risking $1 and spending some time on. This one I thought was pretty cool. Got this annoying sticker right on the front cover that I should have taken off sooner. But this is the Golden Compass, the graphic novel, Volume 1. So I thought that was pretty cool. Actual hardback graphic novel. Thought that was pretty cool for $1. And then I've got some devotionals: faithfulness, love, kindness, patience, peace, joy, goodness, all fruits of the Spirit based there. All right, so each of those books were $1 each because they came from Dollar Tree. That's how much books come there. This next set of books I got at Pennywise, which supports the Fort Bend Women's Center. All right. Hardcover books were $1. Softcover books were 25 cents. So this one is The Alchemist, a fable about following your dreams. I see that it once was at half-price books for $5. I got it for 25 cents. So I thought it looked interesting. The Return of the Prodigal Son by Henry Nowin. Probably butchered that last name. Milton, Modern Essays and Criticism. Edited by Arthur E. Baker. So there's essays in there written by a lot of people. But that. Pastrix. This one looked interesting. The Grace Awakening by Charles Swindoll. Preacher that I like. Explore the Bible, Study Guide for Hebrews, and Study Guide for Proverbs and Song of Solomon. And then I got Exploring with Dora, storybook and DVD. My daughter was with me, and she really wanted this one. And even though it didn't come with the DVD, I got it for her. And I spent $1 on it, because it's a hardback. But it's what she wanted. So, kids book for $1. I actually buy a lot of kids books. I need to show those off more. But the kids like them, you know. So I'm just trying to keep everything somewhat organized on this table. I've got a lot of books to go through. All right. This one's a short pile here. All right, we've got Shadow of the Hedgeman, or Hegemon, or however you're supposed to pronounce that. It's by Orson Scott Card, so sequel to Ender's Shadow, part of the Enders series there, Ender's Game, whatnot. This one, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Classic, right? John Gary, PhD. And then 2061, Odyssey 3, Arthur C. Clarke. So you had Space Odyssey, you had First Contact, you had something in here. A very old advertisement, 1993 to 1994 ad for the Houston Chronicle quarterly coupon book. Wow. That looks like fun. But sometimes what you get when you buy these at a thrift store. So Arthur C. Clarke got some great, one of, sci-fi, fantasy, well, more sci-fi, fathers, maybe you'd call them that. But the Space Odyssey, First Contact, Odyssey 3, great stories there. Speaking of classic sci-fi, I've got an Isaac Asimov book here, but this book is not classic sci-fi. So this book is The Wellsprings of Life. Unlike his other books, this one isn't science fiction. This one is just straight science, is what he goes at here. So he goes on to explain origins of life, development of cells, multiplication of cells, a bunch of interesting things. So the changing chromosomes, the changing gene, building blocks, really interesting stuff. So I'm interested to see what this more scientific and philosophical take is from Isaac Asimov on things that he's written about in sci-fi. Of course, The Hobbit, Tolkien, right? Fantastic book. I like to get extra copies in case I need to let somebody borrow it. Plus, my kids will hopefully be reading it soon. The greatest fantasy epic of our time is what it says up here. I was reading recently that it's best to read. I was reading somebody else saying that it's best to read The Hobbit as a story and Lord of the Rings as a story. And yes, there's overlap, but not to try to mesh them together too much. When I read The Hobbit first, or There and Back Again, right? I read that first, and then I read The Lord of the Rings, and I like The Hobbit better, just as a story. I like it better. There's definitely a lot more in The Lord of the Rings than there is in The Hobbit. You got 3 books instead of 1. I'm not sold on that idea of not relating them, though, because they're set in the same universe with a lot of the same characters. So I say that if the author wrote them and overlapped them that way, you should be able to do that as a reader. So I don't agree with that one Redditor's opinion. All right, Terry Goodkind's The Wizard's First Rule. This one looked interesting. That is a thick book. How many pages is this thing? 836 pages. And Terry Goodkind, with that majestic ponytail, looks like the guy who would write a book called The Wizard's First Rule. So thank you, Mr. Goodkind, for that. Orson Scott Card, Children of the Mind, the conclusion to the Ender Quartet. So look at that. I have book 3. Now I have book 4. All right, Brian Jacks, or Jocks, I'm not sure exactly how that's pronounced. Sorry, sir. He wrote the Redwall books that I like, but this is a non-Redwall book, Castaways of the Flying Dutchman. So I am excited. That's got a familiar picture on the back, though. So excited about that. Let's see. The Greatest Life of All Jesus by Charles Swindoll. He comes up again. All right, A.W. Tozer's The Pursuit of God. Naming the Elephant, Worldview as a Concept. Okay, so I'm very much interested in the idea of worldview, you know. So that this isn't just about God. It talks about Dawkins here. It's got a lot of stuff in here, but worldview is basically how you interpret the world around you. And I've got several things about my worldview that differ from certain people that I've run into in life. And I'm very much interested just in how people interpret the world around them, how things make sense to different people. So that one looked interesting there. All right, Donald S. Whitney, Spiritual Disciplines for the Christian Life. Revised and updated. I'm really interested on what got revised from the first time. Last time I checked, they're not supposed to change. All right, Charles Swindoll's Intimacy with the Almighty. And then Hind's Feet on High Places by Hannah Hunnard. All right, this is my favorite allegory. Of course, the biggest Christian allegory, the most famous one, and I think the second most sold book in history is Pilgrim's Progress, right? But I actually like this one better. All right, and then Following Jesus in Contemporary Context, Kingdom Ethics. I thought this one looked interesting. Also, not a light read. All right, so let's see how many books we're at. I don't even know. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 books there, plus those 3. So that'd be 15. I got 5. So that'd be 23 there. 2, 4, 6, 7, 30. I'm up to 34 books. 35, including this one. Sorry if that noise was not a good one. Oh yeah, I forgot about these 4. So what's that now? 39? Yeah, 39 books. Let's keep going, because why stop there? I also bought a ton of CDs, and there's stuff like Sting. Yeah, right. Got some White Stripes. Got a few things. OK Go, whatnot. Got some movies here. RoboCop. One I really liked, Secret Life of Walter Mitty. That was a fantastic movie. But we're talking about books here, not movies. All right, so these ones I got from pretty much my favorite used bookstore. It's the Tri-Cities Church bookstore. My girls are in dance, and so they go to these dance competitions, and they go to at least one, if not 2, every year down in, I forget where it is, another part of Houston. And in between their dances, because I'm there for all the routines, love watching them dance, but in between those, I will go trip over to a bookstore real quick and grab some stuff. So, let's see. We got Outrageous Truth, 7 Absolutes You Can Still Believe In by Robert Jeffress. Maybe it's Jeffries, not sure. Case for Christ Student Edition. Case for the Real Jesus Student Edition. Case for Faith Student Edition. And Case for a Creator student edition. So student editions of all four of those by Lee Strobel. All right. Living Above the Level of Mediocrity by Charles Swindoll. You're going to see several more Swindoll books in this one. Judah Smith's Jesus Is book. All right. The Soul's Quest for God by R.C. Sproul. R.C. Sproul, probably my favorite modern theologian. All right. Who Was Adam? A Creation Model Approach to the Origin of Man. Interesting. Hugh Ross, Why the Universe is the Way It Is. Yeah. Just notice that a lot of these, Case for Grace, this one's not a student edition by Lee Strobel. Notice a lot of those have to do with creationism there. All right. Book of Questions, Gregory Stock. So these are just questions to ask. You can ask to get to know somebody. Like question 114. Would you be willing to reduce your life expectancy by 5 years to become extremely attractive? I would not, personally. Some of these questions are very personal, though. We'll skip one of them as I saw. Let's see. If you decided to do something and your friend strongly advised you not to, could you do it anyway? Yes, without a doubt. I definitely could. And my friend would have to deal with that. We've got The Holiness of God by R.C. Sproul. When Life Hurts by Jeremy S. Gates. The Strong Family by Chuck Swindoll, also known as Charles Swindoll or Charles R. Swindoll. Simple Faith. This is a Bible study guide there. Growing Pains. What It Takes to Win. The Preeminent Person of Christ. Strike the Original Match. The Life and Times of Elijah. This one is the Grace Awakening Study Guide. So the first one was the book. This one's the study guide. Goes along with it. It's actually a Bible study guide. Following Christ, the Man of God. So I like this. They weren't written in. It's got lots of work left to be done. So I thought that was really cool. Let's see. Participants Guide to Faith, Lessons on the Early Church. Faith That Endures in Times Like These, more Swindoll. Strengthening Your Grip. Growing Wise in Family Life. And Morning by Morning for Graduates, which I'm not sure what the whole for graduates thing is, because I'm pretty sure that if something's a good idea for life, then it's good no matter what age you are, or what kind of, I guess, level of life you're living. It's probably a better way to put that. Anywho, so a little bit of a different bent on this one than my other book finds have been, as this one was pretty heavy on the theology, but lots of good books there. Like people like Sproul and Swindoll and Strobel, and then it got some good other books that are kind of in my normal vein for this. So let's see how many of that was that. What was that before? 38? I think I was at before. So that'd be 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 55, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 66 books. 66 books there. And if I recall correctly, I spent about $50 getting all of those. I don't have all the receipts in front of me there, though. I have this one. I always try to keep the receipts with what I purchase, but it doesn't always work out that way for me. But anywho, whether you're into this kind of stuff or other stuff, thanks for watching. Check out Goodwill, Salvation Army, any resale shop usually has a book section, and you might find something you're interested in. You might find something you like. Books I tend not to purchase from resale shops, though, is anything technology related. Computer books, those get pretty outdated. So I tend to stay away from that. Also, I just make a habit of not buying cookbooks generally, because you could just Google things. There's lots of free recipes out there. I mean, I guess if there's someone who has just like a paid recipe that you have to have, you can buy the cookbook. I'm not knocking cookbooks. I'm just saying I don't cook enough and I don't follow people's directions enough. That's a better way to put it, because when we make dinner at the house, I'm usually the one making it. But I don't follow instructions well enough to get a whole book of instructions on how to cook. I'm more of the, oh, what do we have? Oh, we'll make that work type cook. Anywho, thanks for watching. If any of these books interest you, I will try to put links to them in the video notes for you to be able to purchase them online. You won't get them for as good a price as I did, because I think like these ones, I think all these came out like 10 cents a piece. He even gave me what's it called? I got a microscope set for my daughter at a really good price there, and I got this go-kart thing at a really good price there. I was pretty excited about that. I like getting good deals. You know, that's just something that I enjoy in life, is getting good deals. So, anywho, enough blabbering. These are some cool books. I'm excited to get reading them. Thanks for checking out this video. Oh yeah, I'm Kyle. My blog's talkinggeek.com.